Although all of the pieces in the University of Michigan's Museum of Art are extraordinary in their own respective manners, Romare Bearden created a complex and thought-provoking painting that motivated me to interpret his art with my own perspectives as well as his own real-life events. With an open mind and insightful research, it is shown that Romare Bearden's Now the Dove and the Leopard Wrestle depicts the nature of war, the death of a matador, and the culture of the Black community. In Romare Bearden's Now the Dove and the Leopard Wrestle, solid lines are going in all angles, piercing over and behind each other as they fluctuate in opacity. Every single color of the rainbow is present, which emits a plethora of emotions in different locations of the painting. The combination of outlines, colors, and shading show that the interaction may not be comforting and calm, based on the ambiguity and the unrest that the painting gives. There's a big connected figure up front that almost protrudes from the center of the canvas, with two dominating subfigures. At first glance, there's what seems like a horse head at the top left-hand corner. The horse's neck connects the head down to the body, where it's at the bottom right-hand corner. This is especially hinted at because of the blue coloring that helps connect the two dissociated body parts. A bull is shown here as well, driving its powerful horns into the bottom left-hand corner through the horse. The horse's agony is shown by the painful expression by his face, and its blue color which gives off a somber tone due to being impaled. The bull, on the other hand, is expressionless with no face at all. The aesthetic was inspired by Picasso's Cubism era, where solid shapes and concrete palettes gave paintings a less realistic approach. As a person always absorbing the experiences into himself, Bearden took Picasso's style and put his own spin on it. Romare served in the United States Army for World War II during the years 1942 to 1945. The painting was made in 1946. Therefore, it makes sense to understand how this may be in a historical context. To me, the background colors represent the lands of war. The green is grass, brown is dirt, gray is concrete, blue is the bodies of water, and the red may be blood on the ground. The clean patch of white along its singular location on top is like a purgatory or a peaceful resting place for the fallen soldiers. With around 60 million soldiers and civilians killed over the war period, many lives were left to suffer with their loved ones not present on Earth. The horse and the bull can allude to tragic ends many had to endure, such as trauma or death because of the casualties by blind or indifferent leaders in battle. The artist had close ties with his friend Federico Garcia Lorca, who made a poem called Lament for the Death of Ignacio Sanchez Mejias to honor Mejias, who was unfortunately gored during his bullfighting practice as a matador. Perhaps Ignacio symbolized by the horse in agony, as he is one of the many bullfighters who were killed while performing his risky form of entertainment. Bearden also draws more inspiration from his racial background, as incredible representations of the African American culture were concentrated through jazz, in the peak of the Harlem Renaissance. Being exposed to incredible performers such as Duke Ellington, the unsystematic, unorganized approach to the painting seems like Bearden didn't premeditate the idea of placing his outlining or brushstrokes. As improvisation is a key component in jazz music, Bearden may have attempted to do the same in his painting. Romare Bearden put many different aspects of his life into Now the Dove and the Leopard Wrestle. Coming from the perspective of a veteran, a friend of a Spanish poet, and an African American, Bearden once said, "You should always respect who you are and your culture, because if your art is going to mean anything, that is where it comes from."